What's up, guys? Good morning. I'm not gonna act like I just woke up, because I woke up about... What time is it? I don't even know what time it is. I woke up at like 6, like on the dot, and I got to moving, and I started picking everything up that I had laying out, and it's all packed. I just gotta pack up the tent, and I think I'm just gonna chill, and then we're gonna head into Dalton, and then we're gonna start the day. Let's do it. Alright, let's head into town, right? Look at that foggy mess. You definitely don't want to get hit by a falling rock. Luckily there's a falling rock sign somewhere around here, I'm sure. I just wanted to... God damn, man. It is foggy. It is foggy. Alright, let's go. So yeah, I just wanted to head into Dalton and you know, get a little taste of what's going on. What's been going on in old Dalton, right? So I think that perfectly calls for a little segment I like to call History Time. Yay. Dalton, Georgia is a quaint little city, highly regarded and conversed as the carpet capital of the world. And now personally, I'm not one of the lucky ones to have known the sheer status of this city's carpet making techniques, but it's pretty cool, so let's dive into it. Regarded as the carpet capital of the world, Dalton, Georgia is a little city tucked into the northwest hook of Georgia. As you can see, seems to be a thriving place for everything carpets, right? It's a pretty foggy day, so I mean, I'm sure we're not gonna get the full potential of Dalton here. But let me tell you a little story about this here city. There's a lot of history about this city, and I'm already finding it quite cool just walking here downtown. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really comfortable holding the camera yet out here in public, but I'm gonna do it because that is what I'm here to do. The story of the carpet industry can be traced back to the year 1895 here in Dalton, when a young girl named Catherine Evans Whitener was making these little textiles / bedspreads out of muslin material. What she created was an unusual tufted bedspread, and something not normally made, especially in the year 1895. In the year 1900, Catherine made her first sale of a carpet for $2.50, which in that time was quite a ridiculous amount of money, to be honest. I'd think I was being scammed, but that's just what it is here in Dalton. Demand for these spreads / carpets became so large that by the 1930s, local women had people called haulers who would take stamped sheeting and yarns to front porch workers, and often entire families worked to hand tuft these spreads, and for nearly 10 to 25 cents a spread. Now, I don't know where Catherine got that $2.50 from, but I'd definitely pay 10 to 25 cents for a bedspread, or a carpet at that. Tufters, men and women and children were involved in the industry, of course. Child labor really wasn't a big deal back in the day, I suppose. Income generated by these bedspreads and carpets was instrumental in people's success during the Great Depression. You know, carpets was really all they could sell, and I don't know about you, but I don't really think carpets would be in high demand, especially if everybody in Dalton has already got one. But that being said, that provided a name for Dalton, the carpet capital of the world. Now, that's not really the only interesting thing that I found while researching this place before coming on this trip. I have a of another little story. This is also home to a multitude of Civil War conflicts, being in the north of the South, I guess you could say. One instance of note, one instance that I could find directly on the Wikipedia of this remarkable carpet bartering heart of Georgia is the Great Locomotive Chase. I've already walked in a circle. The Great Locomotive Chase, also known as the Andrews Raid or the Mitchell Raid, was a military raid that happened most likely in the beautiful spring day of April 12th, 1862 in northern Georgia during the American Civil War. Volunteers from the Union Army, led by a civilian scout, James J. Andrews, the most American name ever, commandeered a train, the General, and took it northward toward Chattanooga, Tennessee, doing as much damage as possible to the vital Western and Atlantic Railroad W&A line. From Atlanta to Chattanooga as they went, they were pursued from Confederate forces, at first on foot and later on a succession of locomotives, including the Texas, for 87 miles, or 140 kilometers. Because the Union men had cut the telegraph wires, the Confederates could not send warnings ahead to forces along the railway. So these people were pretty much just left stranded, not knowing what the fuck was going on. Confederates eventually captured the raiders and quickly executed some as spies, which is pretty interesting, including the man James J. Andrews. Some of those men were the first to be awarded the Medal of Honor by the U.S. Congress for their actions. As a civilian, though, Andrews was not eligible. Look at this interesting City Hall. Confederate forces charged all the raiders with acts of unlawful belligerency. These belligerent people. Anyway, the civilians were charged as unlawful combatants and spies. All the prisoners were tried in military courts or court-martialed. Tried in Chattanooga, James J. Andrews was found guilty. He was executed by hanging on June 7th in Atlanta. On June 18th, 7 others who had been transported to Knoxville and convicted as spies were returned to Atlanta and also hanged. Their bodies were buried unceremoniously in an unmarked grave. They were later reburied in the Chattanooga National Cemetery. And since then, Dalton has been a thriving community of people ranging far and wide. I hope you guys learned something from that. And that has been our history time. Yay. I hope you guys enjoyed that history segment. I'm going to be doing a lot more of those throughout this trip, especially at our next stop. It's pretty cool. But until then, I'm going to try and get the flip out of Dalton. So for this trip, I'm actually going to try and keep it as wild as possible. Like wild as in being primitive and primordial. It's a good word. But with that being said, this is about as primordial and primitive as it gets right here, alright, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to hear any flack in the comments. I feel good. Let's head to Arkansas. Welcome to Chattanooga. Chattanooga! Tennessee. I missed the, I didn't film the Tennessee sign because, I mean, I really could have because we were in traffic, stopped traffic. Look at these. Look at Appalachia right here in the flesh. Look at this truck right here in the flesh. Look at me slowing down. So, I'm actually not taking the main interstate all the way to Memphis. I'm taking an alternate route through the southeastern part all the way to the southwestern part of Tennessee, because a part of this road is actually a part of the Trail of Tears, and I really just wanted to see and you know, come and look for myself what these people really had to go through, and as far as being dispossessed and displaced from their homes. So I just want to take a moment of silence for the indigenous families and indigenous nations that were forced out of their homes, and really just mourn the people that lost their lives for something that they were forced to do. So if you'd join with me in a moment of silence. I just look back on things like this in history, and it really gets me thinking, and it really is intriguing to learn about our indigenous culture, because growing up in the curriculum that I was in, like, ever changing, never in one school system or whatever, like, we were never taught about indigenous cultures, like, at all, except just a few minor things. And I really didn't know about any of this stuff until I got older and started researching stuff on my own, and really trying to understand what these people had to go through. And I just want to say that I hope we have learned from this dispossession of people and this awful ethnic cleansing, and continue to and go on to try and make amends as much as we can, because these people took care of this land before us, and it's really sickening to look back on history and see how mistreated these people were. So, yeah. Alright, everybody, it's 3:30 in the Central Time Zone, and I had to take a little detour, an hour 15 minutes slower detour, because the I-40 bridge in Memphis is closed. So I was gonna sit there for like an hour to see if I could get across the bridge, but I was like, fuck that shit, I'm just gonna book it through Mississippi and try and get to I-40 in an hour or two. So I'm probably not gonna get to where I want in Arkansas until like 8:30, 9 o'clock, so depends how fast I really want to go, but I'm just going to take it quite smooth. But yeah, I just wanted to check in. These people in Memphis, oh my gosh, y'all cannot drive. And there's no lines in the road except on the interstate and the highway. Almost got hit like 4 times, just like crazy stuff. Alright, well, I'll get back to you guys when we're in Arkansas, or actually, probably when we're actually there, but yeah. Alright, I'm here, I don't know if you can see me. I'm here at Natural Dam. Now you can't see anything because it's nighttime, so I'll show you guys in the morning. But I'm gonna cook up some dinner right now, and then we're gonna end this episode here. We'll end this here. So yeah, catch you guys when I start cooking. So I would have recorded more last night, but I started cooking and I got swarmed by bugs as soon as I started cooking, and I couldn't go inside my truck for fear of bugs getting in my truck. I don't know if you can hear me, but this is Natural Dam in Ozark National Forest. But with that being said, I think that's going to end off this episode, because because I gotta start packing and driving. I gotta drive 10 hours today. So, it's gonna be fun.